Today, we are looking at the meta trends of Duelist Nexus. We've seen the previews, and the hype is being built up. I just want to help you guys hit the ground running so we can stay ahead of the curve. Now, I've had a few boxes already a few weeks earlier, as you guys may have noticed, and I want to share my thoughts with you guys. Open a few doors, get some Theorycraft juices going, and hopefully that's going to lead to us winning a few more events and not be taken by surprise. If you guys like what you hear or feel a little bit inspired, please hit that like button, or else I'm gonna starve from the deprivation of likes, if that's a thing. But if you want to check out more stuff, see more stuff from MST.TV, more Yu-Gi-Oh! Mayhem, then hit that subscribe button and ding that notification bell. Check out Market Watch from Nishi as well. As the format is about to change, here's also a change from our sponsor, FlexiSpot. FlexiSpot offers ergonomic solutions for your home office. One of their signature items is their standing desk. I got my Kanad bamboo top for my standing desk, and you can choose and customize the top that you want, from wood or glass, with drawers, without drawers. These are the options. I swapped out my cheap desk that I use for my dueling table to a 72 by 38 bamboo desktop, and I hooked it up with my overhead rig on it as well. The height is adjustable at the touch of a button, and the desk can store 3 different height settings, so you don't always have to look for the right height. Now, the legs are very, very sturdy, much more sturdy than my previous one, and the top is solid and can support up to 287 pounds. So, having a standing desk is quite invaluable for anyone that works from home. I can tell you, I work from home for like 3 years, and whether it be working from home or just spending hours sorting my cards, I like it that I can stretch out my legs and back and feel a little bit more refreshed rather than staying in the same position for 8 hours. Invest in your comfort by checking out the links in the description, and if you use code FlexiSpot, you get an additional 5% off. Now let's get back into Duelist Nexus. First bit of hype is going to be for the Dino DNA players, the Dinosaurs. Now, the Dinosaurs have always been more popular in TCG than OCG. First of all, the format is different. They have Maxi, we don't. It's just a completely different ball game here. So, why is it getting hyped? Well, it's because they're going to be getting a new rank 6. Now, post Wild Survivors, people have been trying out Evils or Soda as their rank 6 in case they get hit by a drone lockbird. If you get hit by a drone lockbird, you can still establish 4 disruption, 2 from the Evils or Soda, disrupting special summons, popping them, and then there's Evils or Dolka. So you can pair those 2 off quite easily, even without searching. Now, if you're able to search, then you're going to get the full board. The Dinosaurs, they have been shifting away from just being the aggressive UCT board breaking, put you in the recycling, but empty recycling bin deck. That's not them anymore. I mean, that is part of their identity, but they are also a really good board builder as well. They have like those unbreakable boards, such as setting up, the token on your side with Lost World, going to Appaloosa, IP Masquerade, UCT, tons of stuff, multiple negation. They can build all of that, no problem. That's just part of who they are right now. And they play with scraps as well. And the new stuff, of course, play with scraps because they have tuners, and Ground Xeno are able to search those tuners. The boards that I'm kind of looking into right now is adding the addition of Roz, Evils or Roz. For those of you guys who tried out the trial period of the Evils or Soda and realized, hey, that's okay, under Droll, 4 negations or 4 disruptions, you have, 2 from the Soda and then the other 2 from the Dolka. Well, now you can swap out that Soda for Roz being untargetable. That's already really good. Second thing is, it acts as a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, so it negates cards on field. You target the card and you negate it, and it detaches 2 material if you make it generically, but you can detach 1 material if you make it with reptiles or dinosaurs. That's really good. The only bad part about this is it still gets hurt by Dark Ruler no more. That's the unfortunate part. While Miscellaneous Source is at 1, it's gonna be very hard to kind of break apart. But even with Miscellaneous Source, you're not gonna be able to stop this because these are dragons. The Evil Zors, the Xyz monster, they're all dragons. Miscellaneous won't save you. And the worst part is you can't chain to Dark Ruler no more. The only way for you to kind of try to chain to Dark Ruler no more is that your opponent decides to activate an additional card to break you out of that lock. Because Raz cannot activate unless your opponent is the last part of the chain, and Dark Ruler no more kind of shuts it out, and they just don't have to activate anything. So you better prepare yourself some forced response to your opponent, or find some way to beat that Dark Ruler no more. So yeah, that's very unfortunate. Unlike Hot Red Dragon, where you can just chain one of your other spell or trap cards and then use Hot Red to turn off the Dark Ruler. So that's the limitation. But seeing that this is probably gonna get a lot more popular, no max fee, you can just really spam out the board and get proper negation, especially when you don't have to deal with Dark Ruler. So next we're going to be looking at the fiery, the burning Infernoble Knights. We're going to be going into a lot of fires this coming format post Duelist Nexus. I think it's kind of cool to just kind of step away from just the lights and the darks. So what's so special about this one? Well, what makes them so good? First of all, I will have to say it's got to be the museum. Noble Arms Museum is their new field spot that searches for a Noble Arms card at the cost of 1200 life points. Yeah, everything has a life point cost, which I think is a great idea, so that, you know, if you're going to be choosing to go first, you're going to be, well, wondering why you played so slow. just saying. But Noble Arms Museum, not hard once per turn. You get to search for a Noble Arms card from your deck, which is really good. The other effect is that you get to summon out one of your equipped Noble Knight monsters. That effect also not hard once per turn, which means all of your Infernoble Knights that get equipped, they can be summoned back out much like a Union monster, and I can tell you the value of that because I play ABC. I know what's it like to summon out Union monster thanks to Union Driver and Regulus. It's a lot of value, and this deck is no slouch either when it comes to the monsters that come out because of the new Link Charles. Link Charles needs to equip to get the effects, and it automatically targets this Synchro Charles, and therefore you can use the Noble Arms Museum to special summon out Link Charles. Sorry, you can use the museum to summon out the equip part of Link Charles, which is Synchro Charles, back onto the field, equip another card to it, and link it away once again. And if you guys don't know what Link Charles does, it provides you with spell trap negation if you can send it from your equip, much like the counterpart to the Immortal Phoenix Gearfried, which sends an equip for monster effect negation. This one sends spell traps for the spell trap negation, and it can also negate the effects of spell trap, which is already like really good. And because it copies the effect of Synchro Charles, so if you equip a card onto it, it's going to pop a card. During the end phase, it's automatically going to equip something, so you're going to be loaded with ammo regardless. So you can see 3 monsters on the field, but that's going to be at least 5 disruption, and it covers the trifecta of, you know, removal, monster negation, and spell trap negation. It's got 2 spell trap negations, so that's why probably going to see those Dark Rune No Mores come back. And what's really sets this up like crazy is thanks to the Angelica, the new Synchro card. She is very important. Don't underestimate her, because if you target her, she's much like a maiden with eyes of blue. She tags herself out, activates, tags herself out, summons a Roland Big Brother from extra deck or main deck, so you can get to Captain Roland very easily, and therefore you get access to your tuner. And the kind of whole point is that you would target her yourself to summon out Captain Roland to make the Charles. And yeah, and then once, you know, Roland hits the graveyard, Roland can activate, equip onto a monster, and, you know, send itself away for the Link Charles. You can see where this is going. And on top of that, Angelica on special summon, she searches for a card that mentions Infernoble Knight Charles, which according to what I can read here in the Noble Arms Museum, there's a restriction related to Infernoble Knight Emperor Charles, and therefore it is mentioned on the card, so this card is also searchable. Yeah, so you're not just searching one. If you get to one, I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to get to the second one, and therefore you have 2 special summons coming from the deck as a part of the combo. That is a very long-winded way of saying, hey, this deck is going to be pretty good. Give it a try for sure, because don't underestimate it. Dark Rune No More, yada yada yada. Let's move on to the next one. And also within the Fire Nation, we have Rescue Aces. There's been a bit of debate whether or not they're going to see play. I personally am in the camp of, yes, you're definitely going to see play with this deck. They are very strong. I've already tested it myself, and luckily for all of us, Preventer and Emergency, they're both common. Yeah. And unluckily for us, at the same time, they're both common. And if we want to follow suit with believing in, you know, what happened with Super Heavy Samurai, you know, common, that kind of highlights whether or not, you know, they can get hit on the ban list these days. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. Look at Cash Tira, like you can see that most of the stuff is super powerful, but they're also high rarity, and because of that, a lot of stuff didn't get hit. You know, that's just my perspective, giving that out there. But, you know, buyer's confidence is always going to be, you know, part of the equation when it comes to marketing a product like this. So take that how you will, with a grain of salt if you want. And so, yeah, the deck is really powerful. Those 2 cards change the deck up completely. The deck now has more or less their own version of Emergency Teleport. They can E-Tele out a card, and makes Airlifter all that more powerful. Airlifter is going to be your starter into your Hydrant. You're going to be able to set up 4 back row, and this deck is really good at taking care of monster-based decks as long as you're able to target them. Yes, that's why this deck is really incredible, and you can generate a looping resource cycle against your opponent. It's a grind game for your opponent. If you love playing control decks, you like playing decks like even like Sky Striker, but you want bigger monster, you want better effects, yeah, Rescue Ace is probably the deck for you. And you can definitely set up some pretty nasty things with fire. And yeah, you can also play like floodgates, like goes in match, stuff like that. So this deck, don't underestimate it. Yeah, they were very good when they came out in Amazing Defenders, but now you can see the price already skyrocket for a lot of their cards. Next, moving away from the Fire Nation, we're looking at the Synchron cards, and Revolution Synchron is going to be one of the reasons why we're going to see a lot more Dragon Synchros come out. On top of that, we also have the Crimson Dragon. They kind of go hand in hand, so let's just kind of talk about them all in one package. Synchron package, we have Assault Synchron and Revolution Synchron. Revolution Synchron is going to change the way that we play board wipe because a level 4 summon could lead to an automatic Black Rose. If those cards have triggers, you're going to be in for a world of hurt. I think there's going to be ways to abuse cards like Reborn Tengu. If you summon a Reborn Tengu and then somehow you just synchro it off, it's going to be Chainlink 1, and then the Black Rose is going to be Chainlink 2, and then they're just going to keep on going. I'm just saying, it's just gonna be how it is. So level 4 monsters, whatever that has some sort of graveyard or removal based trigger, you can see them kind of tethering that with Black Rose Dragon. So board wiping, level 4 monsters, they might be sinisterly smirking that, heh, there's a Black Rose behind me. So be prepared for that. But on top of just that one, if you're playing Field Spell, you're gonna love your Ancient Fairy being able to tether additional Field Spell out of your deck. So very, very big change. Revolution Synchron is going to cause a revolution in the metagame itself. Yes, pun completely intended. I'm sorry, guys. It's just part of who I am now. And then there's also Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. You're likely going to see that because the Revolution Synchron can summon itself out of the graveyard as a level 1 tuner. Without being a level 1 tuner, you already have the Synchro 7. Boom. Instant Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, which will also help you dodge cards like Nibiru. Without Nibiru, I guess you can just play your combo decks with synchros. So this makes things very, very safe for everyone. I'm just wondering how that's going to change up the game. I think people might shove this in Sword Soul. They might play this in ABC. I know I'm putting it in ABC. And some people might try to bring back Reborn Tengu. Kind of reminds me of the good old days of Reborn Tengu plants. It was a very big deck back in the day. And you can pay homage to that by building a deck around that. And it's so easy to do now that I don't even know what to say. And that's going to change things up when we go into Crimson Dragon. That's going to allow for the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend package. That Archfiend package is going to be easy access. With Koi Blade, a level 7 Dark, you just need an Assault Synchron to turn that into a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Or you can just use Crimson Dragon, target a level 9, turn it into a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Or you can go into, you know, deeper down into the family. We're going into Hot Red Dragon Calamity. Yes, there are some combos that go into Calamity. And you just skip your opponent's turn, and since that's a quick effect, you can do it during your opponent's turn. Just they have no effects to activate for their whole turn. Yeah, that's something I'm not hoping that you guys are gonna try to do. And unfortunately, some of those combos do start with like turn 1 or turn like step 5 Baron or Crystal Wing. That makes everything so difficult for you to counter. But yeah, that's for the Synchron stuff. Keep in mind, level 4 monsters, they can blow up your board. So I'm going to close out this segment by talking about Tokusano Shinkyojin, the new secret rare draw card. This card, I think it's a little bit, you know, ahead of its time right now. I think there's going to be a point where people are going to abuse the crap out of this card. Number 1, it's not once per turn. That's a huge part. Number 2, you can send cards from the field or hand to the graveyard. And unlike all of the other draw cards like the Celestial Observatory, the Sacred Sword of 7-star Trade In, and the level 9 one, now we have a level 10 draw card. This level 10 one can take multiple monsters to add up to that number. And because it can add up to that number, we're looking at 4-6 as kind of my initial go-to to break it. Of course, we can use it with the Testina cards. They're level 10. You can use it with Time Lords. They're level 10. You can use it with the God cards or the Sacred Beast or whatever. Yeah, they're all level 10. Easy draw power. Not once per turn. No restriction. But the thing is, for the 4-6, I'm thinking a certain way. If we can actually build properly, you can say summon out a Stratos, add a Malicious, and then you just send the Stratos and the Malicious to the graveyard, draw 2 more cards. That's an option. Of course, you can just play Destiny draw. But the other thing would be like, what if you go into like Dragon Link and you have Sereneer plus like another level 4? Like you summon out the level 4, you activate, you send both to the graveyard, and then you draw a card. Like say you send the Sereneer dumps on Blue Bellion. You're plussing off of the thing that you send, and you're going to be drawing 2 cards. I think that's probably the best way to go when it comes to this particular card. That's just like a starting point. Maybe there's a deck full of level 5s. This opens the opportunity for a level 5 draw power as long as there is graveyard synergy. If there is graveyard synergy, it will be worth your time to invest into that. If not, maybe, you know, hold on to 3 copies of this, because I think there is high potential with this for it to become a very problematic card. That's just my opinion right now. But that's all I got for this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that thumbs up and hit subscribe, ding that notification bell. Check out our sponsor at FlexiSpot, which if you guys want to pick up a desk, you know, especially for those of you guys who work from home or just want an awesome desk to play Yu-Gi-Oh on, or just an awesome computer desk because you like gaming on it, then check out FlexiSpot. Link down in the description. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.